So, for the first time in 2018, pole position is going to be Martin Canning, and he's going to be very, very much the man to beat off the grid. So let's go and have a quick run and see if we can grab a word with him. Martin, first time on pole position this season. That's not bad going.
Yeah, this first meeting this year as well, so looking forward to it and hopefully all goes well.
So how do you get the jump on the run to riches? What's going to be your game plan?
A real good start, stay tight on the first bend and then see how it goes.
And of course these guys all have a weekend experience above you, so it's just hang in there.
Just hang on and see, go as fast as I can really.
Fantastic. Jog on, have a good one.
Cheers, thank you.
So we've got Clive Poles alongside him on the front row of the grid. We've also got an interesting battle further back because we've got Adam Bessel on the inside line here, and we'll have Lewis Cannon to the far side. But keep an eye back on the third row of the grid because we're going to have a big challenge from this man in particular. Let's go and have a word with Sam Smith, who should be around these top 6 in the A group, and he's fighting his way back. Sam, not the best of starts to the weekend, but at least you're towards the front of Group B now.
Yeah, absolutely. We had our differential. I was in 3rd position yesterday and my differential exploded. So unfortunately in this tight racing it does put you in the B race, but I'm here with my mates. I'm having a good time. I'm going to win this race and I'm going to go top 10 in the A race. So that's what's happening.
I'm liking a confident man who knows what's going on. Have a good one.
I'm here to enjoy myself. I will. Thank you.
Cheers. So there you go. Sam Smith determined. I'm going to win this one. Let's see what happens. So we go into this second race of the weekend with a very confident Sam Smith trying to get himself back into the A group on the third row of the grid alongside Ivan Leary, but he's got to pass Canning, Poles, Bessel and Cannon to get there. Then it's Clive Chisnell and Alan Hawkins on the 4th row. Muggleston and Hayden find themselves rounding out the top 10 from Bill Taylor and Callum Greatrex. Oliver Graham wanting to move further forward again from Pollard, Rumsey and Robinson, Luke Souch, David Martin and then a couple of Richards, Wootton and Bartlett from Dale Whiteman, and then the 3 who retired in the first race yesterday, Bryn Griffiths, Jack Moody and Anthony Hutchins. And let's be fair, if Jack Moody and Anthony Hutchins are going to come near each other again in this one, they'll need to stay well clear. Jake Stiles hopefully will take up his position at the back of the grid for this one after failing to start race 1. So let's see if we'll have 25 cars on the grid this time here at Snetterton. And the engine revs will rise. Who's going to get to that first corner first? Will it be Canning or will it be Poles? Let's find out. Cracking start from Martin Canning. A beautiful getaway from Lewis Cannon as well. We're on board with Luke Souch. To our left, that is the 40 of David Martin. And coming through past us both is Richard Bartlett, trying to come through on the left side. And it looks to me as though Cannon might have got second position in there behind Martin Canning. We'll double check that as they come through Riches. A lot more slippery this time than it was yesterday. And obviously with it being a little bit more damp, a little bit more greasy, that is the 4 of Bessel trying to come past Cannon into Wilson Hairpin. There's bits and pieces coming up and there's a spin. That is the 40 of David Martin, I'm afraid. So Martin is facing the wrong way at Wilson. Looks as though it's just one of those moments. He should be able to get that back and keep racing. Sam Smith already up into 3rd position though. The writing's on the wall. Sorry for the pun, but he's there in 3rd position. Make that 2nd place as he now charges his way past Lewis Cannon. And now Bessel is going to make the move into 3rd position as well. Or is it 2nd? Has he got Sam Smith as well? We'll double check as they go up towards Williams. But look, Hutchins is making his way through the field as well. So too is Jake Stiles. So the number 2 is there in position. Good to see Jake Stiles in this one. Luke Souch still battling away. To our left now, that is the recovering Bryn Griffiths, who retired in race 1 yesterday, you'll remember. But he is still battling away. And Luke Souch very much with cars in front of him, cars behind him, and cars all around him. So here come the leaders. Sam Smith in 2nd, Bessel is there in 3rd. And in 4th position, I'm not quite sure who it is at the moment. I didn't quite see. That is Clive Poles. And then it is Lewis Cannon. So Martin Canning is leading this race, but for how much longer? I think Sam Smith may have already got into the braking zone at Brundle. There he goes. Well, how about that? That is the Ayrton Senna lap, isn't it? From 5th to 1st. And then up the inside comes Bessel for 2nd place. Well, Sam Smith did say before this race a few minutes ago to me, I'm going to win this one. That's what's going to happen. Meanwhile, Canning is going to get a little bit of a challenge from Clive Poles. And somehow Martin Canning is still facing the right way out of the bomb hole. Incredible. And that has allowed 43 Lewis Cannon to come through. Cannon to the right of him, and Cannon's in front of him. My goodness, there's poetry in the air here at Snetterton, but Bessel on the back of your man in the lead, Sam Smith, and it looks as though these two, Smith and Bessel, both of whom are out of the A group yesterday, towards the sharp end, are now going to be fighting for the victory in 2B, I should say. That is race 2B, of course, the second race of Group B. So both of them not quite where they want to be, but they can at least stretch out in front and start to dictate the rest of this race from their point of view. So this is all going beautifully as far as the race leaders are concerned. Smith and Bessel, they can now just start to stretch out a bit of a gap and continue to disappear. Canning now gets a move on the inside of Cannon, not to get too confusing. Clive Poles in there in 5th position is keeping a watching brief. But Lewis Cannon hangs on in front of Martin Canning. That's going to be the death of me, those two. And up the inside on the grass, Poles is trying to come through past Martin Canning. Now, I'm not sure that's cricket, mate. So I don't think you're supposed to use the grass to make an overtaking move. But he does back out of the move. He doesn't gain a place from an unfair advantage. So that's fair play to Clive Poles. 6th position is now Hawkins. And in there as well, that looked like Ivan Leary trying to move up the position. 3 wide into the hairpin Agostini. That's going to end in tears unless someone yields. Jack Moody is there to the left-hand side of Jake Stiles as he battles away for position. It's very difficult to know where to look in this particular scenario because there's cars everywhere. Absolutely terrific. And in there as well, that is the 90 of Bruce Robinson in the Gulf colours with Anthony Hutchins behind him. Robinson's going to try and get the move on the inside of Stiles. Doesn't get the move done. Not on that occasion. Oh, sorry, not Stiles, because Stiles is a couple of cars up the road, battling away with Charles Muggleston and Callum Greatrex. So that's got to be Moody in front of Robinson. Yes, it is. Then it's Hutchins. Then it is the 3 of Richard Wootton. And then it's the 24 of Oliver Graham, who's having a bit of a nightmare couple of races compared to his strong qualifying form. But sometimes when you're in the gaggle of cars, you just get hung out to dry and you don't get a break. And unfortunately at Snetterton, somebody needs to chuck that man a Kit Kat. So here is the number 2, Jake Stiles, battling away with the 55 of Matthew Pollard as they come out of Nelson, down towards the bomb hole once again. Hutchins defending to the inside of Richard Wootton in the 3. And then we've got 24 Oliver Graham in there as well. Still trying to make up some progress. He gets a little bit of a hustle on from the man behind him, Bryn Griffiths, who again is another man having absolutely no luck at all in this race. As they come through, Callum Greatrex, the back end steps out in the final turn at Murray's, and he gets it back together again, but not before he's got a bit of pressure on him from Charles Muggleston. That tightens the field up a little bit. Black and white flag. That's probably for track limits from someone somewhere. Stiles is having a good run up the straight, though. So can Jake Stiles make a position, and can Charles Muggleston do likewise? Moody's in that little mix behind as well, as Stiles decides to allow 55 Matthew Pollard to sweep through once more. Jack Moody is trying to make up ground, but he's really struggling in the slightly greasier conditions than what we saw yesterday. And now that is a bit of a tight battle for all 7 of them to go through Wilson together, as now the 55 does get through. Matthew Pollard on the inside there takes the place. Then we got the 544 still in there, battling away. Jack Moody trying to make up some places. Stiles is to the inside of Pollard at Palmer, and he's through. Good bit of driving there from Jake Stiles as they get down towards Agostini once again. Down to the braking zone. This is going to be a sweet move up the inside of Greatrex for Muggleston if he can just finish off the move. Meanwhile, Pollard is back on the inside of Moody to stop him coming through ahead of Bruce Robinson and Anthony Hutchins. Great racing from this entire pack as Hutchins starts to look out on the inside of Bruce Robinson, and he's got through. Robinson's lost 2 places there. Jack Moody got through as well. I wonder, did he miss a gear on the exit? And a big lunge from Jake Stiles there to get on the inside of Oggies to take the place and tuck in behind Charles Muggleston. That was some sensational bit of driving there from Jake Stiles, and that's allowed Pollard to get past Callum Greatrex as well. So Moody is now going to tuck in behind him as they go down the Bentley straight once more. Great racing from Jake Stiles, and that's coupled with the frustration of not being able to start race 1 yesterday, don't forget, because he should have been on the grid for that one and wasn't quite able to do so for technical reasons. But now he is here, battling away and enjoying his racing with Charles Muggleston as they continue to squabble down in the braking zone for Nelson. Pollard just hanging on in there in front of Callum Greatrex and behind Callum Greatrex and ahead of the 544 of Jack Moody as they continue to tussle into Coram. Great battles all the way through this field. No surprises for the leaders, by the way, just to update you. Still Samuel Smith and Adam Bessel as they continue to charge forward. Now Pollard is going to have another little look at Callum Greatrex. He ran wide a couple of laps ago, don't forget, Greatrex, so he knows that that's a corner where he might be slightly vulnerable. But is he going to get an opportunity to come through? Well, there is Out in front of the battle, that is Alan Hawkins. Then it's Muggleston, Styles, Greatrex, and the rest of the field charging through. Now, is this going to be an opportunity for Pollard to defend valiantly from Greatrex? Well, Pollard's back on the inside of Styles, and Styles is left out to dry. Greatrex is going to try and come back through. Jack Moody's going to try and get his foot in there as well. You always want to be the driver leading your battle, no matter who it is. 3 wide into Wilson. Someone's going to have to come off that worse. Styles is going to get through all of them. Round the outside at Wilson Hairpin, he tucks in for the inside at Palmer, and that was some absolutely corking precision from Styles to keep both Pollard and Greatrex at bay. He finishes the job at Palmer, and as they go down to Agostini, there's a little bit of a wobble there from Moody, who gets himself back on the road once more. This is absolutely, seriously intense stuff at the moment from these guys. Down in the braking zone. Oh, that's a big problem. That's a big problem for Wootton. Wootton's got a brake failure by the look of it. So Wootton's had a brake failure and cannoned into the side of Callum Greatrex. That has ruined Greatrex's weekend. Totally not his fault. Wootton, I think, had a brake failure because he just suddenly ended up going off on the grass. And that is a big problem. That is not a typical Richard Wootton error. He must have had a brake failure. What a shame. Now, these two out in front, Sam Smith and Adam Bessel, continuing to pull away. They're just extending their gap as much as they possibly can over the rest of the field so that once they have got a little bit of clean air, they can start to battle for the victory in earnest. But that is going to happen sooner rather than later. I think at the end of this lap, we're only going to have 2 or 3 laps to go at the most. And that's going to be a very intense battle between these two once we get there. Samuel Smith and Adam Bessel. Now, Smith goes a little bit deep into Murray's out of Coram. And back down the centre straight we go. Bessel is definitely there with a chance to pounce. But then we've got 3 more drivers in behind them. And that is Martin Canning, Lewis Cannon and Clive Poles, all of whom want to get into the A group for the final race of the weekend. So as they come down into that first corner, Bessel again giving a little bit of a hustle to Samuel Smith in the 36 as they come off the turn. And now up towards Wilson Hairpin. Big tax snapper from the guys in 3rd, 4th, 5th as they continue to push. They're trying to get away and get closer to these guys. If the possibility may arise that they could challenge for the victory, they will want to go for it. So still, this raging tussle between this duo continues as Samuel Smith hangs on in front of Adam Bessel. And with a lap and a half to go, they are going to continue this kind of fight all the way to the finish line. I think it's 1.5 laps to go. It might be 2.5 laps, depending on how much time we've got left when they come across the line. Here comes the move for 3rd position. Canning up the inside of Lewis Cannon. Martin Canning's going to miss his braking point. He tidies it up on the exit, though. That's really nicely done from Martin Canning. Another driver might have just stuck that in the side of Lewis Cannon and let the move sort itself out. Not Martin Canning. He's a very clean, smooth, precise driver. He gets that move done. Even though the braking was a little bit of a lock-up, he managed to roll off the brake, get himself back. Now he tightens up on Lewis Cannon in the braking zone, makes him lock up, and that gives him a little bit of breathing space, so Clive Poles can now pounce on him on the way to Brundle and Nelson. Very calculated, strategic drive this from Martin Canning. He's making good work of where to position the car through the braking zones and through the apexes. So down the straight, Lewis Cannon may get a chance on him into Brundle. He's going to go right this time and try and beat him to the braking zone at Brundle. He's got good momentum. Is this going to be enough to get the job done? No, it's not. Martin Canning keeps his foot in and holds on to 3rd position. The back end starts to come around. Well controlled from Martin Canning. He hangs onto the car. He does not let it fall off the road. And Clive Poles is still watching all of this with bated breath in the possibility that he might get into the top 3. The top 3, of course, are the podium runners with trophies, but the top 5 in this race will go into the A group for the 3rd and final race of the weekend. So up on the curbs out of the final turn and back onto the main straight come our 3rd, 4th and 5th place drivers, Martin Canning, Lewis Cannon and Clive Poles, as the leaders have already gone through to start the next lap. And I think we're going to have time for 2 laps actually, so 2 laps to go now. But Martin Canning hangs on to 3rd. Lewis Cannon's going to chuck it up the inside of Riches. Canning hangs on. The back end comes around. How's he going to save that? Well, at the same time, Bessel's going for the lead on Samuel Smith. Smith is going to retaliate and get him back. What happened to Martin Canning? I want to look back and figure out what happened to Martin Canning. He's still there in third position somehow. Bessel back on the inside of Samuel Smith. He takes over the lead once again. Adam Bessel has got back through on Sam Smith. So Bessel is your race leader once more. Samuel Smith in second. Third place, I do not know how, but Martin Canning is there in front of Clive Poles and Lewis Cannon. But Samuel Smith, with a lap and a half to go in this race at Snetterton, is pushing very hard indeed. Now, further back, we've got this terrific tussle between the 722 of Alan Hawkins, ahead of Jake Stiles in the 2, Pollard in the 55, and up the inside comes Muggleston. Muggleston in the 96 is going to come through. That's Charles Muggleston on the inside of Matthew Pollard. And then there's a little bit of a gap between the 3 cars behind. And here we go again. Smith on the inside of Bessel for the lead once more. So Smith and Bessel having a great battle. Third position, still a great tussle, as Martin Canning hangs on in front of the 18 of Clive Poles. And in 5th place, that is still Lewis Cannon. So the racing is still very close indeed between these guys up at the front. But now these two are in the closing stages, Samuel Smith and Adam Bessel, as they come through onto the Bentley Straight once again. We look back. Where's the third place battle? There it is. Martin Canning in front of Clive Poles and Lewis Cannon in 5th position. So some great driving from these guys. No problems at all as they continue to charge after the lead if they can. But I think Lewis Cannon is only really in the hunt for 4th position now, unless they have the perfect lap leading up to this one. Martin Canning looks like third's nailed to the mast, but here comes Lewis Cannon on the inside of Clive Poles at Brundle, and surely he'll get that one stopped. He does indeed. Into Nelson, keep the car slowed down. Lewis, just about got away with that one, but a great run off the turn from Clive Poles, who nearly commits to the move at the bomb hole. Again, he has to bail, and that was discretion being the better part of valour. And well played to Clive Poles. That keeps their races open, keeps it very much in contention. And what that has done, however, is give Lewis Cannon a bit of a breathing space that will push him towards Martin Canning. Meanwhile, further up the road, we are seriously running out of time between these two out in front. Samuel Smith and Adam Bessel into turn 1. They're on the last lap now as they go through Riches. And Adam Bessel is giving some serious attention to Samuel Smith as they come down towards Wilson once again at the hairpin. Into the braking zone. Perfectly fine and dandy. If you're Adam Bessel, you're just making Sam Smith do all the hard work. This is terrific racing from both of them, and they know it. They are giving it absolutely everything they have at this point. And they've only got 2/3 of a lap to go to make it stick. They come up towards Agostini hairpin. Bessel is not close enough to throw it up the inside of Sam Smith yet, but this is about Sam Smith making a mistake and being pressured into overdriving the car as far as Bessel is concerned. But these two guys who are Group A material, and they know it. Sam Smith, of course, was the man in pole position at Brands after qualifying. That's overall pole position, not Group B pole. So great work there, and he's having a difficult weekend after a exploding drive shaft, he told us, in the first of the Group A races. Now he wants to win the first of the Group B races to get himself back into Group A. But Adam Bessel is going to push him all the way. Provided both of them stay on the road, they will both get through into the A race. So we'll find out if they've got what it takes to get there. Can they be patient with each other? Can they be calculating with each other? Will they risk blowing a race win on the potential to go through into the A group? Well, Bessel's having a look. This isn't just about the A group, though. It's about pride, and both men want to win. Bessel still all over the back of Samuel Smith as they come out of Nelson, up towards the bomb hole for the last time, and then on to Coram. This is where Bessel can really make this last couple of corners come to him. Into the inside line, has a bit of a look. But Sam Smith is not going to lose the place through Coram. Into the final chicane. We may have something, however. But Sam Smith is very strong in these final couple of corners. It's up to Bessel now to get a better line off the turn. And I think he has. But is he going to run out of space down the straight? They are going to go down the road once more. And the checkered flag is going to be out. And it's going to go right to the wire. Oh, so close, but it's Samuel Smith who wins it in the end from Adam Bessel in second position. Terrific stuff. Third place is going to be Martin Canning. He will get that third place finish he's after. And then across the line, it is Clive Poles in 4th position in front of Lewis Cannon, and those 5 will go through into the A group. Then it's William Hayden from Clive Chisnell. Jake Stiles recovers beautifully to 8th place in front of Ivan Leary and Alan Hawkins. Fastest lap of the race, Adam Bessel in a 2:22.2. Matthew Pollard and Bryn Griffithsdale next from Charles Muggleston and Jack Moody. Anthony Hutchins, Bill Taylor, Oliver Graham, Bruce Robinson, Luke Souch and Callum Greatrex round out the top 20. Then it's Martin, Rumsey, Whiteman and Bartlett, with Wootton retiring after that brake failure at Agostini.
Sam Smith, how about that? You did say going into it that that was my victory and that's what's happening.
Yeah, do you know what, the weekend I've had, I just wanted a trophy. I wanted to win it. Adam's a very good driver and he's come back into the Mark 1s this year. He's got a good car, he's a good driver, so I knew he'd be on my bumper. I was going to win that race come hell or high water, so yeah.
So the next task now is to get back into the A group as you have done and see if you can break the top 10.
Absolutely. I haven't quite got the pace to get into the top 10 this weekend, but I'll be pushing all the way and I'll be using as much of my experience as I can to get myself as far up that grid as I can. So yeah, I can't wait.
I can't wait to see how you pull it off. Good man.
Thank you. Cheers, Jake.
Well, Adam, 2nd position, battling away with the man in the moment, Sam Smith, but that was very nearly a race win for you.
Yeah, I don't know how close it was at the end, but it was probably a couple of attempts on it in between. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, I'm happy with that.
You pushed him all the way as well. It was not just a last gasp effort. No. You were right there from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, we swapped places quite a few times, so it was really good. It's the first time back in Mark 1 since I did Super Cup last year, and yeah, just kind of getting used to the car now, and I feel kind of confident in it now, so it's good.
People are already starting to talk about the possible threat of wins as the season goes on, as you get used to this car.
Yeah, that would be great. Cadwell next, so I really like Cadwell, so get a bit of testing there over in between. We've got a big break now, so see what we can do.
Looking forward to seeing you on the top step soon.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, Martin, 3rd position. I mean, any one of you could have had that, but what a way to battle it.
It was a good race, and after 2 years of not racing and, you know, coming back in a car that was lent, and the Blink boys have set it up, it's perfect, so really, really enjoyed that.
And it's not you've never been away, you just kind of got straight back into the action.
Yeah, really, really enjoyed it, and looking forward to the next one.
So, obviously, now that you've got the bug again, I mean, when are we going to see that first win?
Hopefully soon. We'll have a go. Work with Blink, we'll try and move forward and see how we go.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. Brilliant drive.
Thank you.